lost as much as $2 billion a year because of this forgetfulness. But with his huge income, that was just a drop in the ocean. However, the fact still remains that much of Escobar's wealth could still be hiding out somewhere, and one likely place is the vault found underneath his old Miami Beach mansion. During demolition works, a 50-stone vault was discovered 20 years after the property was seized by the U.S. government and sold on to new owners. And this came after another vault had already been uncovered at the mansion the previous year. No reports have been forthcoming about whether either has been opened yet, nor what was inside. But with both safes under 24-hour armed guard, we've got no choice but to wait and see. Number 6. China's first emperor. Qin Shi Huang was the first emperor of a united China, and he was also responsible for unifying many of the country's individual state walls into the Great Wall of China. He was like an old-timey Donald Trump, except with better hair and bigger hands. So when an area believed to house Qin Shi Huang's tomb was discovered inside the emperor's gigantic compound, you'd think archaeologists would want to break right in and take a look at old Bonesy straight away, wouldn't you? And they do, but they can't. The supposed tomb of Qin Shi Huang remains unopened because, along with the countless treasures rumored to reside within, it is suspected that vicious traps line the inside of the emperor's mausoleum. And if that wasn't bad enough, measurements taken at the site indicate it also contains deadly levels of mercury. Furthermore, the Chinese government is wary that modern technology wouldn't allow access to the tomb without destroying its contents, including what remains of the emperor's body. When archaeologists unearthed the famous terracotta warriors, many of them shed their ornate coverings after being exposed to air. So for many reasons, it's wise to take a softly approach with the tomb of China's first emperor. At 5. Music from beyond the grave. After his tragic death from an accidental overdose on April 21st, 2016, the relatives of legendary musician Prince grieved for a solid week before smashing open the secret vault at his Paisley Park mansion. Workers used heavy-duty drills to enter the area after Prince took the combination with him to the grave. But several months on, the world is still waiting to hear what fascinating artifacts lay within. However, it's probably going to take some time to fully explore the contents of Prince's vault, as during his lifetime he admitted it contained the master tapes of tracks he'd been recording for decades. Tracks he felt the world wasn't quite ready for. It is estimated the vault contains enough material to release a new album every month for a decade. And in good news for Prince fans, much of this work was recorded in the 80s. Who knew before he started? At number 4, The Tomb Within a Tomb. In 1922, the tomb of King Tutankhamun was the most significant archaeological discovery of the time, particularly because it hadn't been looted too much by grave robbers, but mostly because it told us interesting things about King Tut, such as the fact he may have been a ginger kid. But the reason it makes our list is that recent radar scans have shown the tomb's walls are hiding a few secrets, and that previously undiscovered rooms may lie below. Tutankhamun's tomb was suspiciously small to start with, leading many to believe the sudden nature of his death meant someone else's burial site had to be hijacked to accommodate him. The design of both King Tut's famous mask and many of the paintings inside indicate this tomb was intended for a woman, the most likely candidate being the famous Queen Nefertiti, whose remains could lie further down within these secret chambers, and who may have been Tutankhamun's mother, as well as his father's own sister. Archaeologists have long searched for the burial site of Queen Nefertiti, as well as the answers to many questions regarding Tutankhamun's heritage and death. Will these mysterious underground rooms bring us an answer? Only time will tell. Oh, and digging. Lots of digging. 3. The Tomb of the Trillions. India's Padmanabhaswamy Temple, also known as the Golden Temple, by people too lazy to pronounce foreign words, is the world's wealthiest place of worship, and also the most baller religious institution in recorded human history. There is an estimated $22 billion worth of treasure stored within the temple's 5 already open vaults, But the reason it makes our list is that there's a sixth vault which is yet to be explored. Unfortunately, this tomb is said to be protected by Lord Ugra Nrsimha, an avatar of the god Vishnu, who possesses a human body with the face and claws of a lion. Kinda like Lion-O from Thundercats, except Indian. And a god. The Indian Supreme Court has also banned anyone from entering the tomb, and those who've tried have encountered huge numbers of cobras guarding its entrance. But it may be worth the risk, because it's rumored that the vault contains a throne made of pure gold and diamonds. And one estimate from the 19th century speculates there may be as much as $1 trillion worth of treasure waiting for anyone brave enough to enter. Number 2. A Mexican mystery. The ancient Mesoamerican city of Teotihuacan was established sometime around 100 BC, 30 miles northeast of modern-day Mexico City, and at its height during the First Millennium, was home to 125,000 people, making it then the 6th largest city in the world. Yet despite many of their fascinating pyramids still standing today, there are a great deal of unanswered questions about who the Teotihuacan people were, what happened to them, and why their monuments and cities were deliberately destroyed between the 7th and 8th centuries before the Aztecs moved in. The answers to these queries may be found within the Temple of the Feathered Serpent, as in May 2011, researchers discovered a tunnel deep within the temple, along with a possible tomb or ritual chamber located in 2014 at the tunnel's end. At the entrance to these chambers, archaeologists discovered a whole bunch of weird items, including the remains of jaguar, skin fragments, carved shells, and a box of rubber balls. Sounds like the Teotihuacan were a little bit kinky. When the chambers themselves were analyzed, one was found to contain hundreds of mysterious glowing orbs, potentially made of solid gold. And inside another chamber was, can you guess? A buttload of mercury, because ancient Hebrews sure loved them some shiny poison goop. However, despite this discovery hampering further excavation efforts, the presence of mercury could indicate several significant rulers are buried there, a finding which may finally shed light on what happened to the elusive Teotihuacan civilization. And at number 1, the time travel tomb. Within the boundaries of London's quiet Brompton Cemetery, you'll find the tomb of Hannah Courtroy, a wealthy 18th and 19th century merchant's daughter. She died in 1849, and her tomb has never been opened, which is surprising, as some claim that it contains an actual working time machine. Okay, we're calling horseshit on this already, but that doesn't mean the story of Hannah Courtroy's tomb isn't still interesting. Courtroy was a friend of Egyptologist Joseph Bonomi, and reportedly funded many of his archaeological exploits to the Egyptian pyramids. It was rumored that during his trips he discovered the secret to time travel, an invisible kind of munition shell, and documents detailing ancient Egyptian war tactics, all of which he stored inside her tomb when she died, aged 65. Intriguingly, a strikingly similar structure has been located in Paris's Montmartre Cemetery, leading some to believe that the two tombs form some kind of teleportation device. Joseph Bonomi is thought to have designed Hannah Courtroy's Egyptian-style mausoleum, but the key to it has long been missing. However, in 2015, her great-great-grandson Ray Godson began working with a local enthusiast named Stephen Coates with the aim of having a key to the tomb made. Its listed monument status means kicking the door in isn't an option, especially because it's made of extremely heavy bronze. But whether you believe